awesome that this is my dad.
It's a yearly tradition at Orange Grove Middle, one that's been on hold the past 2 years because of COVID. But this Veterans Day, the Grove once again opened its doors to men and women who served our great country.
Today it is indeed our privilege to say thank you to all of America's veterans, to let them know we appreciate them for their services and honor them for their sacrifices. The price of freedom is high. We cannot afford to forget those willing to pay it.
To the students who invited them, these men aren't known by their rank or military branch, but as dad, grandpa, coach, and friend.
So when you look at that veteran, you don't look at him as just an old person wearing a hat. You look at him and say, at one point, this guy was a young man who served his country.
These men shared their stories. Many served in battle.
If there was one thing that I was always passionate about in life, it was standing up to bullies. And that was my passion, because I always wanted to be on the front lines, being able to protect people that couldn't protect themselves.
I spent 6 years in the Navy, 4 years on a guided missile destroyer. For those of you who don't know what that means, it was a warship.
It's a weird thing when you're over there. You know, it's probably the scariest thing in the world, but then eventually you sort of become accustomed to it.
A lesson that 8th grade teacher Jamie Gladue says sits differently with students in this setting instead of the classroom.
It's real to them when somebody's speaking to them that's been there versus me telling them a story of history.
These veterans came with lessons of their own to teach.
The best thing I learned in the military was an old CW4 warrant officer. He told me, "Lieutenant, you got to show up on time." The other thing I learned was you have to have education. If you continue your education, you'll move up.
I could start up the entire engine room. I could start up the nuclear reactor. I operated turbines. I worked on steam plant equipment. We did all of that stuff, started diesel engines. I never thought I'd be able to do that. When I joined the Navy, I was joining to get the adventure, go travel around the world, and I did get to do that.
Opportunities that started with the choice to serve their country.
Military gave you discipline, it just gave you everything. You don't have to be in the military to serve the country. You can be a scientist to serve the country. You can be a doctor to serve the country. It doesn't matter.
And then looking around and seeing the students, who many can be hard to maintain their attention for a long period, are just mesmerized on stage listening. So it was amazing.
An amazing opportunity to show honor and respect to those who kept the faith in the fight.
The sad part about it was when you are, now sending human remains back to Charleston in Germany, then to Dover, Delaware, you remind yourself about how blessed you were at that time.
We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the American service members who died in the battle or were wounded. We will now take a moment of silence to remember those who did not make it home.
It's never easy coming back when people don't come back with you.